Hey, good evening, Welcome to the Marital Toolbox, where we just talk about all different kinds of things and different tools that work for different marriages. One tool may not work for your marriage, and then another tool may work for someone else's marriage. But we just come here every Wednesday at
every Tuesday.
I'm sorry, I'm on the thinking room. We just here. Thank you, sis. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Just talking about marital problems, whether there are issues, whether there's happy, fun, ups, downs. No question is off the table. We challenge to answer any question. You can call in 216-298-1554, 216-298-1554, or you can hit us up on our Facebook pages to submit your questions, which we hope that you guys do submit some questions and call in, because tonight is just, different. Tonight is more of an open forum. So we just, and really, it's really us. We're going to just kick it with us, just talking about different things about us. Questions, what is it? What was it, y'all? Questions that you thought about, but you never asked about.
And the question mark is still there.
And the question mark is still in your mind.
Yes.
And even if we found out that the question might have still been answered, we're still going to dialogue and talk about it, and just talk about it. So please, y'all, get on our page and submit your questions. No question. I want to say this: no question is silly.
That's right.
No question is stupid. Please, talk. No question is off limits. We answer from finance to sex to friendship to communication, which is our infidelity, and communication is our big topic on this platform. That is our big topic, communication. Because without that, I don't care what we're talking about.
That's right.
If you don't have communication, you can forget it.
Right.
But anyway, so that's what we're talking about tonight. Those things that we thought about, maybe growing up. We may see Uncle Jimmy and Auntie Sally, and we just like, I just want to know about that. So we're just gonna start with that. So before we get in, hey, ladies, how you doing?
Everything is well. Everything is
good. How was everybody's day?
It was good. My baby
sleepy.
Home.
Your baby home?
Wow.
Who the baby?
Baby girl from the hospital.
Oh, from the hospital.
Yes,
Wow. Okay, that's a blessing. That is such.
So that means that it's time to cook some macaroni and cheese.
I hope ain't nobody from Cleveland Clinic watching. I had her some perch fried ready for her, and some Dave's chicken and some macaroni salad, and she was happy as a lark.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, before
to be obedient.
Amen. So before I get into this, and I probably got to go on my page because they normally come on my page. I don't know what that is. I got to go to my page. But before I get into this, I'm going to have one of the ladies open up because I got questions and stuff, and I got mine. But
I got a whole list here.
I'm normally always opening up, and I'm normally always starting first and talking. So I want one of the ladies. You know what? We gonna have the one.
The one.
to the one. That voice.
She voiced, but sometimes she sit quiet on that sometimes.
Until something hit her.
So we gonna have her because we love to hear her talk, and she talks about some great things. And you have always heard her testimony on here in her background. She's been married a couple of times, so she has a lot of wisdom, and she has a lot of experience, mistakes that she can really offer and come from. So we're gonna let her start, with her questions.
So y'all know I'm very transparent. So that's why we said no question goes unanswered. So I have all adult children, and so when I told my children what the topic was, most of my questions come from my children.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Even my son chimed in today, which I was shocked about.
Okay.
So one of my children asked, They said, Mama always said, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. So, do you have your own bank account separate from your spouse and or the house?
Well, since you started, then I guess I'll be the first to answer. Well, I believe when we come across all of our questions, I believe we're going to find a lot of our questions the same, because that was something I was taught.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest with you. In the very beginning, I felt that way. In the beginning, I felt that way. Listen, I'm coming into, now mind you, just like you, sis, I've been married twice.
Right.
This is my second marriage. I got married when I was in high school. But this is the one that I'm supposed to be in right now. I know that for a fact, okay? So the thing of it is, I was taught that, and I believe that. I believe that you were supposed to. But then they say rainy days. Now, I will say this. I don't have a separate bank account. But it's something put aside for rainy days.
Right.
Rainy days don't have to mean divorce.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So don't go into it. Rainy days mean divorce. That don't mean that. Rainy days mean, listen, okay, we need some gas in the car, and he's short on his end. Well, honey, go look right there. You can get that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Or you short on this end, and we need that to be paid. Okay, honey, we'll go look right there and get that. So to me, that's rainy days.
Right.
That's that second account. But it's not nothing that is wrote in paper that we got Key Bank or what's another bank? Anything, PNC, and he don't know about it. You understand what I'm saying? So no, I was taught that, but in growing up and being married to the husband I'm married to now, I that's just a cliche.
All right.
Now that's for my marriage.
Okay, now let me tell you what happens on my marriage.
And I'll tell you mine.
So I was brought up to believe this. I don't think I ever told my children this. I might have, in one of my former days.
Okay.
So I might have.
Okay.
Now I believe in this, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
So, like you said, it's not a secret account.
That's
he
it.
knows about it, or he
Okay.
knows what an extra stash is, or
Okay.
whatever like that. But only because if something happens, my whole husband is older.
Okay.
So if something happens to my husband, I don't want my money tied up where I can't get to it.
I understand.
You understand what I'm
Okay.
saying? That's my
Okay.
only logic.
Okay.
My logic is the bank gonna hold it if something happens to
Until
them in
civil.
both of our
Right.
You gotta go to civil court.
Right.
Yeah.
I ain't got it like that. I can't afford not to get to my money.
Okay.
Right.
So there is some stuff set aside so we both can get to
Okay.
if something happens to us. So like you said, it's not secret, but
Right.
it is a rainy day.
That's it.
I didn't do it predicting divorce.
Right.
Now,
There you
now
go.
if you would have asked me this in a previous marriage,
That's what I'm talking
that's
about.
what it would have been.
Now my first
Right.
marriage,
Yeah, that's what it would have been. Because in the second marriage, that's definitely how it was. But since you know since I know, and I know you all know, I'm in a God ordained marriage.
That's
There's
it.
no such thing
That's the
as no
difference, right.
secrets and
Right.
mine
That's
is
it.
separate from yours and all of that kind of stuff. Now women do underhandedly think that's what's yours is yours.
And what's
and
his is yours.
Is mine.
Uh-huh.
Right.
That's what they
What's
say.
his is yours. That's right. So, but
In a
like you
jokingly
said,
way we say
Right.
it's not a secret
It's
account.
unbelievable.
It's a
Right.
just in case
Right,
account.
right.
So that's where I'm at with it.
Me and my husband, we do. I will say, me and my husband, we do have a joint account, and that's of course with the checking, savings and stuff like that. But like you said, we all can agree there is a rainy side, and rainy days do happen.
That's right.
So rainy days, time I do put finances away.
Right.
I do that now. What works in my marriage may not work in everybody else's marriage.
That's right.
Sometimes I will put some stuff away, and he does not know about
That's
it.
right.
Okay.
He does not know about it for the purpose of. Now, I'm not, because some people, I'm not trying to justify, just hear me out. Okay.
That's right.
I do put it away with this in mind, with the purpose of him not knowing sometime, because a lot of times I like to work with the finances we have.
Yeah.
I want
That's
that to be
overflow.
specifically,
That's right.
That's overflow.
that's specifically for a rainy day.
Right.
I want us to be able to live our day to day with what is,
That's
and if
it.
we need that,
Right.
then I can go pop that and say, baby,
That's
I
it.
got it.
That's
I got
what
it.
Don't worry about it. I got
Put
it.
aside.
That's right.
Don't worry about it. I got
That's
it.
right.
But I don't want I never wanted us, so this was my logic. I never wanted us when I put, because I can put good money away.
Right.
I never wanted us to sit down at the table while we're trying to plan and put things together. Okay, well, let's include this into that. No, that's not included in that.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, you don't even know that that's there sometime.
That's right.
You only know that it's there sometime when trouble or something, if I need it.
That's right.
So for our house, we do have a count that we do have together, but Mama got some stuff set aside, and it is
he
in it.
probably do too.
And like you said, he probably do.
Yeah.
And at my discretion, like you said, I reveal what I think he needs to know,
Right.
and I keep what I don't think he needs to know,
Right.
but not in
Understandable.
a selfishly,
Understandable.
unmannerably
Yeah.
way.
I get
So
it.
I got money under the
Right,
mattress.
That's
right.
it.
So, and listen, it's not really under the mattress, y'all. Stop. Don't try to
Right.
get her address. You can go over there.
No, it's not under the
Exactly.
mattress.
So
It's
that's
really
why I said,
not.
right, exactly. And that's just like the same thing that we said from the beginning. So
We
it's
all
nothing
agree.
secret,
It's not
secret.
secretive.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
nothing
It's a rainy day.
secretive.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
and that's the
It
thing,
is.
though. Like right now, prime example. Okay, my son's last year of school. It's next year. He'll be graduating in 2020. So
You already done start putting stuff
listen,
to the
my
side.
mindset.
And I'm gonna give y'all an example when I finish. Go ahead.
And my
sis.
mindset, as I'm driving the other day from taking him to school, okay, I'm thinking, okay, prom is coming up. Prom is next year. He went to prom this year, but it was just with the school, okay? But his personal prom, his year to graduate is 2020. So in my mindset, okay, go to the dollar store, get that big manila envelope, and I don't care if it's $1 or $2 or $5, whatever it is, whatever
Right.
you break, you put in that envelope. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Right,
So
yes.
that envelope is not going to be touched.
Right.
Don't worry
Exactly.
about the paycheck is coming in, and when the paycheck coming in, it may be 4 or 5 digits. Don't worry about that, because there's still things that need to be paid out of them 4 or 5 digit
Right.
paychecks. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So therefore, when I break something and I put it in there, that's for prom.
Right.
You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? This is for vacay.
Right.
Right.
You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I mean, just like, and to be honest with you, sis, in a sense, a personal situation,
Right,
and
right.
once that thing came through and everything was done out of it, the Holy Ghost, listen, let me tell you something. It's so good to be saved, though.
It
The
is.
Holy Ghost will talk to you if you just
Yes,
hear
he
him.
will.
That's it.
Yes,
So
he
gotta do
will.
is
I had to
listen.
tell my husband, the Holy Ghost said to me, act like it's not even there. Live
You have
like you
to.
was living
You
before
have
it
to.
came.
That's what I
That's
said
right.
earlier. Don't-
Exactly.
we're not
That's what I'm
including
talking
that.
about.
We're not
So
including
we're not
talking
doing
about
that.
that. Don't worry about
right.
that.
So therefore, it shouldn't. He guess what? Every time I pull up something on his phone and show, you see what that is? Okay, boom. Let's go back to living.
That's it.
That's it.
And that's a thing too, and that's another thing that I want to say. And I'm gonna give a quick example so we can move on. We call it the envelope system.
Yeah.
Okay,
You have
there you
this
go.
for that, and
Yep.
you have this and you have that.
Yep.
For like a prime example, and I'll talk about my car. God, he was all in it. You know how I got my car, but this was years ago. I'm in school. I'm, going to school, getting my degree and everything, and working out in school. Of course, with schools, you get your finance,
Yeah.
you get all that stuff, stuff. But although I was getting that, it's still from that monies, the little bit of monies that you get back. It still was going to the house and different things like that. But my husband, no, I'll take something. You give me $5, I'm gonna put $2 away. I don't spend the whole thing.
Spend the whole thing.
I put $2 or $1.50 away, and it adds up, and so that's what was going on. And so he never knew I had this money. And by this time of going to school, because I really don't spend money like that. If I really don't spend money like that. So by the time, by the
Pass that
time
along now.
I finished school and had saving up, I saved up to clearly almost like $8,000 or $9,000.
That's good.
Money he
good.
never knew about.
Right.
But that was helped through the fight. The
course.
checks
Right,
coming back. That wasn't
exactly.
nothing that was coming.
Right,
from
right. I
my own.
understand. Right.
But then also too, I was working at that time too. But it still didn't come from that because I take
Right.
money from that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so by that time I had saved up. But he never knew anything about it because I never told him about that.
Right.
We lived life, and he was in the hotel business. He was making money, so he didn't need what I was gonna try to give him because he can handle it. And so, but when it came to the car, long story short, to settle the car, we needed like a couple of $1,000. And I didn't say anything, because in my mind I'm like, oh man, I got to crack the safe over. I'm going through all this in my mind, so. But long story short, when he went out and I went back in I settled the car. But in his mind, like, oh my God, we just, forget it, or whatever. So when I came back out, we settled the car and everything. And of course, we had the car, and I told him what we need. And so when I finally told him, I said, I already paid. I paid it. I gave the couple of $1,000. It was just like a shock to him because he didn't think I had that type of money. And then of course I felt good.
I did that.
He didn't think I had that type. He was like, babe, where did you get that money from? And I told him and everything but anyway, that's a prime example for me in my house where sometimes I will share. And then sometime I won't, but like I said, it's never from a selfish
standpoint,
place. And he knows that.
Yeah,
he knows I cannot tell him. Listen, he know my husband knows himself. He knows I cannot tell him that I got $5,000 stashed away.
Right.
Because he will include that in everything. He will include that in everything on the table.
Well, vice versa. That's why my husband, your brother, is just like you. Because my husband said, don't count that in that.
Right.
Don't even put that right there. So I'm learning from the best.
Right.
Yeah. So
go ahead. Do one more. You
want
Marie?
me to do one more?
Yeah.
How much do you permit into your bedroom?
Ooh.
Oh, so that's like almost my question number 2. I told you most things we got wrote down.
Yes.
I answered first. Do you want to answer this? Or this sounds really, really
Go ahead. I want her to answer.
I presented the question.
Oh, you presented to me? Okay. Well, let's talk.
Let's talk.
What I present in my bedroom is any
question well answered.
Well deserved. What I permit in my bedroom is I press the limits in my bedroom. Anything that's not going to
go
against the grain of God's word. I don't have no animals in my bedroom. I don't have a third party in my bedroom.
Right.
So anything that's not going to go against none of that stuff. None of that. Sodomizing, none of that stuff. Anything that's not going to press the grain of the word of God. It's my bedroom. I satisfy my husband. He satisfies me. So basically, anything goes. Like you said, we this
topic put a smile on your face, don't it?
We gotta put the chandelier on the table. I never forget that.
We gotta put
chandeliers on the table.
We had a conversation one time where we were talking about sex, and we asked about swinging on chandeliers and all of that kind of stuff. And we said when you get to a particular age, you need to bring the chandelier down.
Right.
Hang from the top.
And make sure that it's sturdy.
Bring it down and make sure it's on the sturdy foundation because we got a little extra stuff going on.
What you say?
So the chandelier might not even hold us no more.
Hey.
She said we sit on the chandelier and swing.
That's right. We all do still use chandeliers.
Yes, we do.
Well, I'm going to answer that.
Anything goes in my bed. Yes.
So I'll say this. Let me tell you something. I'm just gonna answer it just like this. I'm gonna keep it PG. I know my husband probably biting his nails like
Children
what
shouldn't even be watching. Y'all make sure y'all not watching kids
all right. So my husband is 7 years younger than me.
And we gotta talk about it.
Okay, come on.
And my husband is 7 years younger than me. And not just on top of being 7 years younger than me, my husband just lost almost like 30-something pounds.
Come on now.
So with him being 7 years younger than me and losing about 30-something pounds, and what you say, the bedroom is extra happy right now. It is so happy right now that you see these two sisters sitting right here, and our fourth sister is not here. Happy birthday, Victoria! So she's not here, but we had a very good conversation last week, and my sisters and them told me, they said, "Sis, you've been walking bent over for a little while."
Her stomach was hurting and everything. We like, well, good Lord.
So only thing I'm going to say, listen, I'm just like my sister. Listen, anything goes except what's pressing towards the grain of God.
That's
Listen,
right.
ain't no
Towards the grain of God.
sodomizing.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no menage a trois.
None of that.
I ain't bringing no fantasy that my husband had before he got
yeah,
saved.
no fantasy.
No, listen.
We got some, but
I got
not-
you.
not
I'm the
that.
only
We
big
got
fantasy that
Oh,
he
yes,
needs.
I'm
See,
telling
I'm
you
big
now.
and
Yeah.
I'm beautiful, and he
it.
love it all. So what
That's
I'm
it.
saying is, yes, a lot of things goes in our bed. We have the little dicey dice. We have
Uh-huh.
some
Oh,
sweet
yes, the little
sugars.
games,
We got
yes.
some sweet gumdrop
Role play.
We come
My
on,
husband
nurse.
is probably licking his lips right now.
My husband
Wait
is
on me
watching.
to
His boy better be
Look,
watching.
they watching too.
Oh,
They
they better
watching.
be watching.
And as a matter of
I
fact,
told
they
them
better
be
comment.
watching.
They better
Say that,
comment.
Luana. I told them they better be watching.
That's
too.
right. You already know.
So, what do I permit in my bedroom?
I know that's right. Roll it one more time. Roll the eyes one more time.
Whatever
So, of
pleases
course,
your
just
husband.
That's right.
Just like my sisters, whatever is morally correct.
That's right.
Moral.
That's
I
right.
like that
There you go,
word.
sis.
There's no other person in my bedroom, not even
That's
the thought
it.
of another
I know
person
that's
on
right.
each
I
of
know
our
that's
halves.
right.
But we do a little bit of it all. Handcuffs,
I know that's right.
blindfold,
Role
Come on,
play,
tail
all
feather.
that stuff.
Come on, feather.
Yes.
little whips.
Scented powder.
And
That's
guess what?
right.
I got one for
Scented
you.
powder.
And it's
I
not
use all of
always
that
the
stuff.
missionary position. Come
Right.
on, somebody.
here.
We try
Y'all
different
better
things.
stop.
Try
I told
different
y'all.
And I'm gonna
things.
be honest with you now. Sometimes things permit health. Age.
Yes.
My husband is 11 years older
I'm gonna talk.
than I
Yeah,
am.
we gotta
Come
talk
on,
about
come
My
on,
that.
husband
Yes.
is 11 years
Uh-huh.
older than I am. And I will never do or say anything to embarrass my husband.
That's
right,
But
that's
life
right.
is life. So
That's
some
it.
things I don't work always.
I-
You don't work always.
Hey.
Things don't move the way they used to move.
That's
But when it gets to
Things
going,
don't
it
work,
goes.
But when it go, honey, it goes.
goes.
It's a little fire and stuff
What
going
you say?
on. And
That
all
little
of that
pink
kind
bunny,
of
the
stuff.
Energizer.
So
The Energizer
just
bunny.
know that there's a lot of intimacy in my bedroom.
And you know what? Let me say that. And you may just heard us say a whole lot.
Yeah.
And some people probably sitting there with their ears covered up.
Right.
It'd be the main ones who really wanted to have for their bedroom to be popping
and
like
we
this.
talked about this. That's the problem. Not with all churches, but with most
That's
churches.
right. Come on, tell the truth.
Whenever
We don't
you
talk
want to
about
take
sex.
a real issue
We
to
don't
the church,
talk about
they want
sex.
to tell you to pray. Pray is always the ultimate answer. But what am I supposed to do before the prayers?
Pray that he hit it right.
That's what we are here
about
for.
that?
I'm just saying.
We're not to tell you that you're not supposed to pray. We're not talking about any particular preacher, person, form of religion, any of that. But what we're here to do is to give you real life
Yes,
answers.
we are.
That's it.
On
That's
what
it.
to do until the prayer is answered.
That's right.
And so we're gonna be real with you.
And that's the thing I was just finna get to. I was going to say the word that you just said, sis. You said the word. I don't even know how many letters in it. Go ahead, spell it out. Intimacy.
That's it.
But that word is so important. Let me tell you something. And listen. I was sending my husband a text in a minute while he at work. I was sending, well, y'all know them little emoji
That's
things
right.
that God and doing. I
Yeah.
get my husband started or present. Listen, there has been days
Let me
I
tell
have
you.
met my husband at the door.
With whatever
In birthday
with
suits.
something on
You
that.
understand what I'm saying? Especially when the son is not home. Come on, stop playing.
Don't come out with the church
Yes.
But
code.
listen, come on
and
now.
also too, and what she's talking about is activities in the bedroom
That's
too.
right.
There's been times where I've danced for my husband.
That's
I put on
right.
lingerie.
That's right.
You know, you have to make it nice.
That's
I think
right.
we did a sex. We did a segment on keeping it sexy.
And
That's
it don't
it,
always
yeah.
have to
And
be
it
in the
don't
bedroom.
always,
That's
and
it.
it's something
Try
that
to
you
top of the
said.
dryer.
Oh God,
Girl, listen. Hold on. Try every room except the kitchen right now.
and like Marie said, and we have to deal with the reality of it all. We're getting older.
That's right.
We're getting slower.
That's right.
Things change.
Things hang.
Things hang.
Things hang.
Things drop. It looked like gravity kicked down the door and say, "I'm in control." So you know what you have to find. So
Yeah.
you're not that bunny rabbit no more. Now I'm talking me and my husband.
Oh, you talking about
we're,
my
we're,
husband
we're
too.
25 years in, and we're older.
Yeah.
And you know, my husband is 55. I'm only 48. So it is an age gap
It is.
difference
It is.
there.
Yes, it is.
We're not bunny rabbits
That's
no
right.
more. We're not.
That's right.
In the beginning, oh my God, all we did was sex.
Oh,
Oh,
You better
my
stop.
God.
I
All
just
day.
listen. Me and my
We
husband
just
talked
sex,
about
sex,
that the other day.
In the
sex,
backyard,
sex.
meet me wherever.
Girl,
My mother-in-law-
girls,
listen.
we was, but we
45 times a day. Hello?
So how old
But-
are you?
I'm 40. I'll be 47.
And
47.
your husband is 40.
My husband is he'll be 40.
Yeah. I'm 53 and my husband is 64.
And
he'll
my
be
husband
40
is
and I'll be 47,
is
yep.
55 and I'm
Right.
48. So
Yep.
we're not bunny rabbits.
That's
no
right,
more.
that's right.
We're right now at look. We you know we do a lot of action and stuff like that, but then there are days like look if you don't pick my leg up,
I know that's right.
you better pick my leg
you
up.
gotta wait. Hold on. Let me change for a minute.
We have to use body language.
Exactly. Hello.
You know, and stuff like that.
You ain't letting my shoulder. Girl, you better stop it. That long pillow. Go ahead and put my leg right there.
Come on
So
now, wait, stop. Let
So
me do
what
this
we're
again.
talking about, you have to do activities in your room from music. Keep Tremaine Hawkins out
Please.
your bedroom. I'm going up yonder.
Yes.
Fred
Keep the
Hammond, keep
scriptures,
them out.
all of that out your
And take that
bedroom.
cross from around your neck.
Please
Get you some Kim.
Yeah, because that cross he might think is a chastity
Girl,
belt.
get some
Take it
Kim.
from around you.
Get some
Luther
some
Vandross,
Jaheim.
whatever, and set an ambiance. And like I said, there's times that I dance for my husband. I put on some sexy lingerie, and he loves
Don't
for
put
me.
a pair of heels on.
I put heels on now.
That's right.
Now, I told him I'm about to order a pole, so I'm getting
I
ready.
know that's right.
I'm get, you know, you
Wait a
can
minute.
buy those.
What about that?
You can buy those.
The ambiance thing we went to at your house. Remember that black
they got
swing?
swings.
Oh yes, the black swing.
yes,
Oh yeah, I bought that for somebody.
uh-huh.
Yeah, the black. So
Yeah.
we can we can talk about sex all evening because we really do. Because like you said, sis said, you know, it's religion and it's the
is.
church
It
that
is. It
you know
is.
that keeps you from not being able to talk
It is.
about this.
Right.
You know, we know the Bible talks about the older mothers and supposed to be training the younger ones, but I mean, but. You teaching them how to keep their husband, but you talking about cooking, you talking about this and all of that.
That's right,
But you're
yeah.
not talking about the bedroom, and
That's
that's why
right.
they're
That's
looking
right.
at looking at her,
Sister Sue.
Sister
That's
Sue,
right.
and all of that stuff
what you
because
say?
Sister Sue doing some stuff that I really want to do. So
Right.
you know, but anyway, but yeah. Off limits, anything can go in our clothes for me. Anything can happen and go. Like you said, sis used it, long as it's morally correct.
correct.
As it's
If
morally
you feel,
correct.
but I will say this: if you're feeling convicted about something, if you're really feeling convicted about
It's probably
something,
not the right thing to
it's
do.
not for
Yeah.
you.
And you know what?
And it doesn't mean that it's not wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
It may not just be.
It may not be for
It-
you.
Go off him coming. Him.
Yep.
Let's use an example. Him coming from the back, doggy style.
Uh-huh.
It may not be for you.
It may
You
not
may
be
feel
for
a
you.
conviction.
Right,
for you.
exactly.
You may feel like an animal. You
Right.
may feel like something because that's not where you
All
at.
right,
May not.
ain't nothing but a dog and
but
me.
for another person, but for another person,
Right.
they're comfortable with
That's
that
right.
because they're
Right.
comfortable in their sexiness and
That's
their
right.
sexuality.
That's right. That's
Not
right.
that you're not.
That's
it just
right.
may not be for
may not be
you.
for
And you know what?
But don't condemn nobody else
That's
either
right.
if they doing it, because that's
Right.
another thing we
Yeah.
do.
Oh, we
Because
do
if
that.
you're
Don't
not
we?
doing it, then
Yeah.
it's not.
That's
but
probably
don't
why
do
your
that.
bed ain't happy.
That's
I'm
why.
sorry. Okay.
Don't do that.
All right.
Don't do
uh-huh.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm finished on that
Alrighty.
part. So
Okay.
y'all go ahead.
All right.
All right,
So
what you
I'm
got?
gonna ask a
Go
question.
ahead. Go ahead.
The question well, let's just say my second question was, when do you tell your spouse that having too much sex is draining you? How should you approach it then not to feel that he will cheat?
Say that one more time.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to
Okay,
read
so
the-
my question was almost like hers. Okay. Now, the first question is my own question, but the second question here is, when do you tell your spouse that having too much sex is draining you? How should you approach it, then not feel that he will cheat?
Okay,
I
that's
think-
part of this question.
And I think that, you know what, this
Necessary.
sex must be something, it's a problem in marriages, sis.
Right.
For us to be, listen, we are not nymphos.
We're not. We're really
But
not.
these are just the questions that are coming across.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So we don't want nobody to feel that this is not the sex show, but it's
Right.
coming across.
Right.
So the thing of it is with that, I'm gonna let I just wanted to bring that out before one of the
Let's do
sisters
the first
answer that.
question one more time. How do you-
Okay.
How do you tell your spouse
that having too much sex is draining you?
Okay, let me start right there.
physically, right?
What you mean?
Or
I don't know.
What are they saying?
They didn't say it was.
They
It was
they're
from
having
the,
too much sex and it's too much for them. So how do they?
I'm like,
approach
sis,
that
I
with
left
their
most of my
spouse?
questions at home, so I just had to
Right.
remember off the top of
Only
my
thing
head.
I can think of to get from that question, the first place I'm gonna go is physically, because
Okay.
I won't go mentally or emotionally, anything
Okay.
like that,
Yeah,
because it's
you
How
need
do
to
you
figure
say it's
out
too much emotionally?
What
or,
else is going on with you, or
So-
went on with you to
Right.
make you?
So I'm
So
gonna-
when do you
I'm
tell your
gonna-
spouse that having sex is too much and is draining you?
Okay,
So maybe
draining.
they having too much sex. I don't know if it's, they didn't say physical or emotionally, so just take it from the aspect.
Oh, let's say it like this. Okay, if they're saying, because what's tripping up in that question is you got two things going on. You got two things that's happening. They're saying it's draining them. Okay, so when we talk about draining them, that's not physical. You
Okay,
understand? That's
okay.
something emotional.
Okay.
So, and then they say they're having it too much. That's the physical part, the
Okay.
physical aspect of it. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
That's the
I got
physical
you. I
aspect.
got you.
But then she said, whoever said it's draining. So maybe
She sound like singing.
maybe the emotional part of it is,
Mister.
oh my God, she whoever it is got the, okay, I know they're gonna ask for sex.
Oh, wow.
My God.
So are they in
it's-
love then?
it's draining. Cause that's the only
I'm gonna
thing you
have
can
to ask
connect draining to.
have
You
to
can't
ask her.
connect draining to a physical action. The physical part of that question is too much because the body is getting tired.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The draining part is the
Right.
emotional part. The too much part is the body is getting tired.
And maybe
That's-
they're
So I'm
not.
looking at those two words.
But
draining
if you're physically
and
hurting,
I
or
was just
something,
finna say,
it
I
will
was-
mentally drain you.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm looking at those two words. I'm looking at draining and I'm looking at the part that is too much. Your body will let you know. As
That's
a
it. We
woman.
talked about that.
We
We
had
talked
this
about that.
conversation, ladies,
Yeah,
and you
we
know we
did.
have.
Yes,
Your
we did.
body as a woman will let you know when it is too much. Now you
Right.
got those that are rabbits and it don't bother them.
Uh-huh.
But your body as a woman will let you know when it's
That's
too
true.
much.
Right.
Pay
It
attention
should
to
as a
those
man,
signs
too.
because
I'ma ask.
because internally you don't
determines
know
how
internally
much?
you don't know what's going on and what's happening inside your body that you're having pain. If you're having pain on a Monday,
physical.
you having pain on a Monday,
Go ahead.
okay,
Said who did-
Tuesday, maybe you need to give it a rest and let your body recoup versus having back to back. You
That's right.
paining on Monday
That's right.
and you're trying to be physically
That's right.
intimate on Tuesday. You need
right.
to give your body rest because you don't know what you are hitting internally, especially if he's endowed and he's girthed or whatever, and
Right,
you
exactly.
don't know what is going on, you know, in your body. And then you can have other complications in
That's
your
true.
body also
That's true.
too that's happening. But your body will basically, I tell people the body has a voice and you have to listen to it as a woman. So on that part, if it's too much on that, you know, that's the part that I can say. But that emotional part,
They're commenting up a storm on here, but go ahead, honey.
maybe on that part about draining you, the emotional, and like you said, mental. They are mentally trying to gear themselves up because I know when I walk through this door, he or she
Wow.
gonna want to have
Something
sex.
else is going on.
He or
y'all.
she
be.
is
Or
going
he
to
or
want to
she
have
right.
sex.
Something
Because
else is
he
going
or she,
on.
because it's draining them.
But
that-
they need to deal with the issue of why it doesn't bother you that he or she is asking for
Wait, is
sex.
this from a woman?
Yeah,
don't-
it's from
Okay,
a woman.
we
It's
got
from
to
a
deal
woman.
with the
You
issue.
gotta deal
Why
with the
he's
issue.
not?
It's from a woman.
Did she tell him? Well, first
She
of
said,
all, we can
obviously,
talk
she said,
about
how
obviously
do
know
you
what she
tell
said.
him?
How do you
tell-
approach it?
You have to tell
what
him
you was finna say.
before you be in the hospital.
But this is the thing,
You have to tell him, honey, look, babe, look, I know that you are sexually, you know, and I know that.
But why does
you
it have to be end with a sexual act? She needs to
this
come.
is-
They
I
need to
will
come
say
up with
this
other
part, too.
creative ways.
But
Because
maybe
I
that's
know
what
the
he
person, not
wants.
know them, know
Okay.
them.
Right.
They're like maybe 3 years into the marriage.
Okay.
Right.
But at the same time, see, this like I like what you said
What's
earlier.
the age
sis.
bracket?
I think early 30s.
Okay.
Early 30s, middle 30s for both.
Yeah,
early
yeah,
middle
yeah.
30s.
Okay, they still
So,
in a bunny
so
rabbit
but this
age.
is the thing, though.
Yeah, they still in a bunny
But this is
rabbit
the thing,
age.
though.
Yeah.
Like you said, it may not work for everybody's house because see,
may
when I first
Right,
got married,
it may not.
Listen, my husband, he was like a jackrabbit. I mean, a jackrabbit. It was 5 to 6 times a day almost. It went on, okay. But think about it. Even though it was I'm gonna say 4 to 5 times a day. You know, most of it was quickies. I mean, come on now. But the thing of it is with that, even with that, it got so to the point to where I knew my body was like. I mean, this went on for like 4 to 5 months.
Right.
I had my mother-in-law had to go to my husband and say, "Son, you have to understand the woman's body. The woman feel internal. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why it's an internal thing? No, not internal. I'm talking about how the act happened.
Right.
Women feel the internal. Where men is. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, my husband had the mindset. Well, her body don't belong to her, and mine don't belong to me. Mm-hmm. But until God had to deal with my husband. Right. So what I'm saying, even in this right here. So I don't know exactly what works for each household, whatever. But the second part is I want to talk to Maximus in mental or physical drain.
Yeah, you have to.
And then the second part is how should you approach it?
Yeah, you know we always say don't come to me with a problem without a solution.
Right.
That's
so
true.
She needs to come with, okay, honey, I need to talk to you about something serious.
Right.
Physically, my body
has to make
if
it
it's
serious.
physical or mental, she needs to say, physically, my body is not able to do it this often. Mentally, I got a problem with it, but then she's going to have to be ready to tackle mentally why she has a problem with it. But she also, why does pleasing your mate have to be physical, intimate? Why does it have to be sexual
that's
intercourse?
something that they have to talk about.
And look, she better be creative and come up with some other stuff.
Have to talk about.
There's a comment that came on the page. I'm assuming that it's a male. Last name Carson. I'm just going to put it right there.
It's a male picture. That's a male picture.
Everyone's drives are different.
We just talking
on
about
different
that.
levels.
We just said that.
And it should have been talked about before.
But at the same time, I like what you said, young man. But at the same time, you know what you married in the beginning, and we talked about that before.
But did they have a conversation?
See, that's
and
the thing.
They could have been bunny rabbits before they got married.
That could have been the reason they got married.
You know what, too? Because me and it
could have been the reason they got married.
Now, Juanita did say, she said, is it lust or intimacy?
Exactly. That's right. I like that.
And we talked about that too. What is the why? Why did you get married? If you married for sex, then you getting what you got.
And so you know what? And you know, I like that too. That's true. And I will say this: when I did speak with the person, you know, in the because we kind of counseled it or whatever. When I did speak with the person, the thing of it is that I even had to let them know. See, my husband, we didn't even sleep together till the day after we got married.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Right. Did you even have energy? Let's be honest.
That's what I'm saying. That night.
Let me tell you something. Well, me and my husband got to our honeymoon. I had on my lingerie. I took my shower first. So when he came out the bathroom, I could surprise him. When he came out the bathroom, I was across the bed like this.
I know that's right.
We didn't have no sex that night. Matter of fact, I don't even think we had sex and probably until the following day, but early that next day morning.
You be tired.
We was tired
because you ain't had a chance.
We was tired. We missed our plane. First of all, we sat in the airport for almost 8 hours waiting for another plane. We was physically tired.
Let's attack this last part.
I was beautiful.
I got a part.
What was the last part?
This last part. Then it says, then not to have him feel, then not to feel that he will cheat on you.
Okay. Wait. Okay, I think we all talked about this too, and we're not going.
Carson, 100 mil. I see that.
Okay. So, that opens up a whole nother conversation.
Was there infidelity before?
Because now you're saying what I'm getting from that is if I'm wrong, but I'm just saying because we just speculating the question. Now you're saying. You just put another variable in there because now you're saying, okay, you're willing to sex him like that and go through the mental and drain him.
Did we last week?
No, but did you hear what I said? You was looking down. I just said it, but I said we just.
If a person is going to cheat, they're going to cheat.
I said we just talked about this, but your head was looking down. And I just said, but y'all was talking, and I said we just talked about this. Yeah. It was personal, and I won't go into details. Right. But If then we have to talk about that. Okay, then you willing to go through all of that because you think he's going to cheat.
Right.
I did say that though, but I said it was personal. That was
So what's your other
personal.
part to that
Open
question? Because I got another
That
part
was
to it
it
too.
right there. The,
So then she's doing it for the cheat. So he does not cheat.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I wish we can't say no names, but you know we all talked about last week.
That's
We
why I
talked
said it was
about it.
personal. I didn't want
Yeah,
to say
we
who
talked
it
about
was.
And when that thing came up, when we talked about it, it hit. And let me tell you something. That's something that individual has to get out their mind.
That's
Yes,
it.
it
We
has
do.
to. We
That's
talked
something
about-
personal you got to
Yes,
deal
you
with.
have
And you
to
know
deal
what?
with
This
that.
last thing to go along with that.
And guess
be
what?
careful
Go ahead.
in this right here. You know who I'm talking to. Be careful in this right here, because I will say part of this. I will say this much without going into specific details
Right,
of what the
'cause we
individual
talked
is,
about, yes.
because you got to be careful. You got to take the pornography out of your room too.
That's
Right.
it.
Out of your
That's
bedroom.
it.
You got to take these
Right.
tapes
Yeah.
because
Right.
it could
That's
be
what I don't do in my
draining.
bedroom either.
Right, no pornography.
I make my own movies.
That's it, exactly. It could be draining.
But you ain't gonna tape it.
I ain't gonna.
Right,
I don't take
right.
that.
And we ain't gonna put it on YouTube. Right. Well, okay, but I ain't gonna say no nothing. You know, I ain't gonna put it. But anyway, make a long story short, you
what
have
is
to take pornography out
Yes,
of your
yes,
bedroom
yes, yes.
because if it's draining you mentally and physically, because first of all, maybe somebody trying to
You
be
trying
that
to
person
keep
on the
up
tape.
with-
Let me ask you a
That's
question.
that's immoral because you trying to pretend like you somewhere
Because
else.
why she
Well, that
trying to
part-
prevent him from
Yeah,
cheating?
exactly.
Just like you said, it could. Now that part wasn't discussed with me. Even
It
when we
could
talked to them a while
either
ago.
the
That part.
partner had some infidelity or in her previous relationship.
Okay, she said. Okay,
there
we
was some
talked about
infidelity.
that
It could
too.
be. It could be.
Insecurity.
Yeah, yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that's insecurity
Yeah.
problem. Because
Yeah.
he may never go cheat, but if you keep doing that and forcing and you keep putting that thought out there,
You
he
hear
will
people,
go
That's
do
right.
it.
you hear
You
people
will
all
drive
the
him to
time
do
say,
it.
if you're going to keep accusing me of the act, then I might
Then I might as well go ahead
Don't
on
they?
and do
You
it.
hear it all the time.
That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Well, baby.
So listen, this is
Okay.
another part of that
Go ahead.
question.
Okay, go ahead.
What or how do you deal with sexual incompatibility?
Say that one more time.
What
Oh.
or how do you deal with sexual
Now, what are you talking about? Are
incompatibility?
you talking about
Size wise,
Yes, what are you
male,
talking
Well,
about?
I'm thinking-
When you say incompatibility,
This
what
what
you
I'm
mean?
thinking. I'm thinking it was not a question. I'm gonna tell you, it's a question I thought of because of the other stuff we were talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm saying when I say how do you deal with sexual incompatibility, you want to have it 5 days a week. I don't want to have it but 2 days a week. You want to have some whips and chains. I don't want that.
Wow.
You want to do it upside down.
That's
I only
a
want to
2-hour
do it on my
session.
back.
Maybe that's a 4
How do you
Wow.
deal with incompatibility in your bedroom?
Now we gonna have to definitely inject prayer in that because
So how about we?
because if
So
not,
how about we make this another show?
okay, then we'll make that another show. It would have to be after the fact
After
because
the
the
vacation.
men do
Because
it
next
too.
week
do it,
is
yeah.
men.
It's the men,
Right,
it's
the
the
men
men,
cave.
and they gonna talk about the same topic.
Yeah,
They gonna
okay.
have their own questions,
Okay.
Got it.
or what they wanted to know. Yeah, we'll talk about that one.
So we'll
Incompatibility
throw that in the bag.
sexually.
How do you deal with sexual
Yes, keep that.
incompatibility?
Make sure you keep
And
that.
that could be a
because
lot of
I get all
things.
type of questions. I
Yeah.
forget that one. So
it can
please,
be all
please
type
keep
of
that.
things. Yeah,
Okay.
that's something.
Yeah,
That's why I said
incompatible.
that's almost
Incompatibility. Because if you really, real safe for them real safe ones, you don't know if you're compatible till you marry them.
Yes,
and then
right.
that's
That's
like,
yeah.
That's
oh
right.
man,
And now you stuck.
That's what I thought.
Now you
Man,
stuck.
You ain't
Or she
and
just
such
dry.
shy.
Let's be honest.
her tongue could be like I need some
Oh, this ain't what I thought.
Yeah. And let's
It's
be
a lot.
honest.
And like you said, now you stuck.
Yeah. And let's be honest. In the kingdom, we usually marry quickly.
Yes.
You notice
yes,
most
because
kingdom
y'all know,
marriages-
I thought thinking about myself.
No,
You're right.
I
You're right.
said yes
Most
because
kingdom marriages marry quickly.
You know why?
they want it.
You know why?
Because they wanna have sex.
Not because of that too, but
And
God
because-
said.
Yeah. God
And God
honors
ain't said
marriage.
I said,
that God between your God
How
between
long
your
y'all
legs
gonna
said it.
date? But most people that have
That's
in the
true.
kingdom, you notice you say how long did y'all date? Me and my
6
husband
months.
only dated 6 months.
Right.
Well, me and my husband
Thank
dated for
God
10.
it was God
Right.
ordained, so
Yeah.
everything
I
is
was got ordained. We got
working, yeah.
engaged in April and got married that November.
And mine,
Yeah.
guess what? Mine was 10
we
months.
like
I
that.
dated
10 months.
I started dating my husband, even though I had known him. We started dating seriously at the end of June. By January, we were married.
Right, that's I think, and that. But like you said, look at all of us, 20 years
Right.
in,
Yeah,
you know,
we 20
7, 8 years in, 20 years in, 20 years in, exactly. You know, between all of us, almost
Yeah.
47, 50
40
years
years.
married. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that should be, and we're young.
Yeah.
I
Right.
don't care what the numbers
Yeah.
is, but we're young, so we have to think about those
Okay,
things. So,
here's
so
my,
you got a question?
Yes, here's my
And
question.
Juanita and Jay Carson, we need y'all on here all the time because y'all got us going crazy. Y'all
here's a question that I had, because I always thought about this, because I try to, and I've had conversations with people about this. You try to balance, the Bible, and you try to balance everything. But then sometimes when I try not to be so religious and deep, all of that stuff, because, at the end of the day, you can have all the Bible knowledge.
That's true.
You can, I can, but at the end of the day, reality is reality. And sometimes the Bible stuff don't happen overnight.
That's true.
You still have to process it while you're waiting. You still have to process through all of that stuff. So my question was about children.
Oh, I got that question on there too.
What do you think? Here's my thing. What do you think when you hear people say, well, how do you feel about people saying that I don't want no children, and I don't care to have no children,
that's
and I don't have to, I don't want no children.
But that's one of them things that you need to talk about before you get married. If me and John about to get married, and John done said to me while we dating, it done came up in the conversation, I don't want no children. If John don't want no children, if John was a hoe, whatever John was prior to, he gonna be when you marry him. We talked about that. Yeah. What did you marry into? Don't expect that you're gonna be Captain Saver, you know what, and you're gonna change the whole world.
Captain Saver, that person. Well, you're not.
You're not gonna
but
change.
But you gotta keep it real though,
right?
Because you know what? Now listen, and I can comment on that for me. When I first met my husband, me and my husband talked. Listen, I wanted 4 children.
Yeah,
I wanted 4 children.
I did have.
And
I lost one.
Yeah, me too. I lost one too.
I had 4, but I lost one.
I wanted 4 children, and I wanted my oldest one to be a male figure.
Right.
Now the Word of God says, write the vision, make it plain.
Right.
So that's what I did.
But that's your vision.
Right. But when I was 5 months pregnant, with my husband's child, so many people thought I was already pregnant before we got married, and that was not the case. So
even if it was, so what? We all make mistakes.
That's the sanctified,
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's not with the reality.
Right, exactly.
Reality.
So at 5 months, a year into our marriage, 5 months pregnant, I didn't know I was pregnant. So the baby, I actually had to, bring the baby forth, because I was 5 months pregnant, did not know that I was pregnant.
Had no prenatal care.
Exactly. So therefore, I lost our first child. And then a year later, here comes Yeshua. So then I had my son. But I wanted 4. My husband told me in the beginning, I want 2. So that was my choice then. Do I still want to stay with him because he only wants 2 children and I want 4?
And stop thinking that's the last person that God ever going to send you.
But this is the thing though. But this is the thing though. My one son is almost like 4.
That's it.
Right.
So it is what it is.
Your love is enough for us to get past that.
But sometimes
it's something you got to talk about.
Sometimes, like we were, as a matter of fact, I know my sister don't mind, but we was just in the service on Saturday evening that they had.
That's why I got the
you know what I'm saying?
I got the
and the male
and I've heard it before, but that's
okay. And the male and the female that were there, a married couple, said that they didn't want children, so they said, "Don't even come to me prophesying that you see a belly in my stomach. I mean, a baby in my belly." She said, "Because I'm gonna rebuke you right then and there." Right. She said, "Because me and my husband both." Decided that we did not want children.
Said clip. Now I don't know who got snipped, but she said clip.
Yeah. Exactly.
So she said snip. So I don't know who got the
because I think that he has children. I think that he has.
I don't know
From the page. But anyway, make a long story short. So I think, just like you said, once again, communication.
It's something you got to talk about in the dating phase.
I like that. I can agree with that. With that answer, just talking about it with your spouse and not surprising that on them, because nowadays, majority of the time, now that was their experience. Nowadays, young men want children. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? If you older, you trying to be a cougar,
right?
Don't go after nobody young, because they're looking for an heir. They want some. They looking for.
And half of your eggs already cracked.
Right. So and if you right,
scrambled.
I like that. I like that one. Okay. So then also too, don't condemn those that don't have children. They don't want no children. They don't have to have no children.
Please stop.
No,
what I heard before, sis?
The Bible said, "Be fruitful and multiply."
No, not just that. You know what I heard? Have y'all ever heard this? That you ain't no real woman unless you done had a child, either natural birth.
That's
I had a C-section, and I'm all woman because God created me woman. Okay, so guess what? I may not didn't feel the baby coming through, but I felt contractions. I had to have an epidural, and guess what? I conceived and carried, so that makes me a real woman.
Woman is pre.
That makes me a real woman.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
A barren woman is pre-cross.
So it is what it is.
So don't knock those that don't, that don't want no children, that don't want to have no children. So don't worry about that part. So and we're also not being anti-children either. We're not trying to do some she thing. I am woman, hear me roar.
Right.
We're not anti-children.
Amazon women.
Right, but that is a discussion you talk over with your spouse, with children. It is something.
Because that's important, because children get expensive.
Yes, they do.
It's about to be college. It's about to be all this other stuff.
The children thing.
Okay, that's a do you
If we get
say if he or she doesn't like. Say, read that out,
I got another question too.
Do you stay if he or she doesn't like your children?
Are you married though? I mean, what do you
family?
do?
Is this a blended family?
Do you
I don't
stay?
know.
Well, first let's start. Are they married? Because see, it's easy if you're not married and you can dissolve the relationship.
Exactly.
But if you married, talking about. Okay, see, I don't like your kids.
But how did you get to the point in marriage that the spouse doesn't like the children?
Maybe the spouse always never liked them and never said nothing. Sometimes that
just
can be a
playground.
Right, never liked the children.
Thing.
Right, and now it's just saying something, or they got to know the child, depending if it's a teenager or adult, and now they're finding out that they. But if they're an adult, what you worried about that for? Send them.
So if your husband or wife does not like your children, is it grounds for divorce?
No,
because
that's
once
grounds
again,
for counseling.
Yes,
you
it
need
is.
help, not divorce.
Because
you can't divorce me because you don't like my kids.
It
now.
goes right back
Let's
to the
go
beginning.
Family
You
counseling.
knew what you was marrying. You knew
can't
this.
do that. You knew she had 10 kids before.
Come
you
on now. You knew you was a Brady Bunch,
right?
Because you had 4 and she got 4.
I
so
don't
no,
think that's not grounds for divorce, and I will not condone anything like that. Divorcing somebody because you don't like their children. That's a family counseling. You guys need to talk and figure out what it is that you have a problem with his or her kids, and see how you can work that thing together. Now, if they adults, then you need to figure out how to keep them out your business. If they disrespectful or smart, but as long as they under your control and you can, their children, and your word is the last word, and you can control them somewhat before they become adults. So, that's a family counseling matter. You need to talk to somebody.
Let's throw a twist in here.
Because you can't divorce nobody. You can't divorce that.
Let me
you
give
can't
you an example.
That.
Let me give you an example. I have a nephew right now. My nephew, I have a niece. My niece has 6 children. Okay. 3 of them are by her husband. That's the latter 3. The other 3 are by another gentleman. Right. Okay. I just gave my nephew, her husband, accolades the other day and said, you know what? And he's a young man. Okay. He is only 30 or 31 years old with
and all
6
of them he
babies. And they've been together. They've been together for 8 years. Hold on, let me let you all do the math again. He's 30 or 31. They've been together for 8 years and they got 6 babies. Yeah. And only 3 is his. Right. And this is what I'm finna say. I gave him accolades. I said, because you know what? In being around you all these years, I've never heard you say, those ain't my children.
I can't stand people to say them.
I've never heard him say that. And guess what? I even told him. I said from the very beginning, before these 3, before your biological 3 came, you were still buying tennis shoes. You was taking care of. You was doing things for those other 3.
You know what? We were talking about that.
Isolates. I don't like that. It isolates the child. I don't like that.
I was with my family last weekend, and we were talking about, because I have an aunt who lives in Tennessee. She's been on before, and she was. My father is her sister, but it was 6 of them born from my father and my grandmother, my biological grandmother, and then he remarried and had a second wife and had my aunt. Okay. So my aunt's mother, grandma to me, Roxy T, that's what we talked about. We said, you would have never knew she was not our biological grandmother. And I will drown a bucket of water over Roxy T.
That's good.
Because she came to every graduation, every wedding, and she never said this my stepson's
That's
this
my mother. My mother's
step-granddaughter,
like that.
whatever.
She
She used to
treat everybody the
say,
same.
this my oldest
That's
this my oldest son,
right.
Bernard's daughter. You know Bernard, my
That's
oldest
right.
son.
That's what my
Let me
mother
tell you,
do.
Roxy
Never
T will
make
go
it
down in
No
history
separation.
as the best grandma in the world.
No different. Now, my daughter Jarby. Now, of course, you guys know that Jarby is not my Kevin's biological daughter.
Right.
But
You'll never know.
You'll never know.
You'll never know.
He's been in her life since she was 5.
Right.
He raised her, and that is it. Now, we've had 2 children on our own.
Right.
But if you that's his first child.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, he
Mother
is.
is not his first child.
Yeah, that's what
That is his first
Yeah.
child. Jarby favors him.
Yeah.
You know, she looks like him kind of, but she really looks
Yes,
like
you
a
think
father.
so.
She
You
really
What your mama and them used to say, if you
Yeah.
feed them long enough.
Right.
they
He
look
does
like
not
you.
different. He
Yeah.
does not
doesn't.
different. We don't.
Right.
I told him long time ago. Look, that step stuff. Because I grew up with a stepmom.
Yeah.
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 And
Okay.
I grew up with a stepmom,
And you
and
feel
it
like
was
a
not.
stepchild.
I
Yeah.
was made to feel. Me and my
Yeah.
brothers was made to feel like a
Right.
stepchild.
Right.
So I know what it feels like to be a stepchild. It puts a spirit on you of isolation. It makes you separatism
It
from
does.
everybody. It makes the other kids superior.
Yeah.
Then you, although it's not like that, it could be like that. But
Yeah.
the spirit of it, the mental
That's
of
right.
it,
Isolation,
That's
yeah.
right.
the mental. Well, why I got to be? Why
We
they
got a whole lot
I'm
of
stepping
questions we
they
didn't answer,
and they
don't
this
we?
and all of that. So yeah,
Sis,
so
we
I don't
need a
know.
part 2. We got a
Okay.
whole lot of questions
What is
we ain't
it?
answered. I'm saying
it
we
say?
need a part 2 show.
I got
Oh,
some
no,
questions
that's
that
fine.
wasn't
Listen.
answered.
we got a bunch of questions that you done started some stuff.
That's a real. I like tonight that will take
Yeah,
care
it's
of that
good.
or not his. I don't believe in step. No, I don't believe in step either, Mr. Carson.
Yeah.
I really don't.
And
my
Mr.
second,
Carson, I'm gonna let my nephew
ahead.
see that comment too. I appreciate that.
I don't
comment.
believe in step either. And I think we already answered it in the sexual part. Now, but then let's see. I know we get ready to go back to sex. We don't talk about sex all the time. We got like about a couple of more minutes left. And my last one was going back to sex, but I think we hit it. How far should aggression go in the bedroom?
Oh, long as it's immoral.
Listen, don't
Let me
be-
say this.
listen.
I got this from my brother. I'm gonna pop him when I see him, and he better be watching.
It's as long as it's not
See,
immoral.
He better be watching. This is his
You
question.
heard me say we got handcuffs. So long as it's
Okay,
not
listen.
immorally.
What we think about Tat?
Well, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this about this right there.
Let me put that out there. What we think about now? We're not knocking nobody in walls and abuse and
That's
stuff.
right.
But what we
That
think
you trying
about,
to get a
what
hit
we
off
think
for real.
about-
Let me tell you like this. Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna say it like this. Listen, my husband already know. Now, see, y'all get some stuff started.
He better
I
be
told y'all
watching.
I was on sabbatical until we go out.
Come on, we gotta end the show because we got to get home.
Hurry up.
Let me tell y'all. I put it to you like this. My husband know. My husband know.
You gotta beat it. Hurry up.
You got to talk dirty and you got to do some stuff to me. Talk dirty, hit dirty, rock it dirty, move it dirty. You better do something, buddy. My husband know that. That's why we happily married after 20 years, because he
right.
hits it right.
Listen, pillow talk is dirty talk. Can I just
He is
share that
right.
with you?
It is.
Pillow talk is dirty talk.
Right.
Yes,
So
it
I'm just
is.
letting you know. So when you hear somebody talk about, oh man, we gonna talk pillow talk tonight, they get ready to get nasty with it, talk about it. Now what language they use out there, that's in their bedroom. That's the privacy of their
That's
bedroom.
right.
That's their business. I'm not getting
Morally
into
correct.
it. Long as it
Morally
ain't-
correct.
Listen,
That's all.
listen, long as it don't make you backslide.
All right,
That's
Princess
right.
Brown.
And
I see
all
you
that.
laughing. I see you laughing, Princess Brown.
You better talk that. You better talk that. So aggression, we said handcuffs. We said pop it a little bit. Pop, 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 pop,
That's
pop.
right.
Wait,
Talk, pillow talk.
What you say?
It's
Just don't tilt my womb.
It's okay to grab the hair. Hey, listen, y'all listening. It's okay. Now y'all tell me if y'all agree with me. We got like 1 more minute. It's okay to grab the hair, you know, but
yeah.
not hard. We not trying to hurt nobody.
Listen.
But
Listen,
it's okay.
I had to grow this back in the top just for that reason.
I still got one side he
Yes,
can pull.
sir.
I got a side he can pull. It may not be done over here for medical reasons, but he can pull this side. Come here, girl.
Look, and let me say this, y'all. Don't y'all be posting on our page, and don't y'all be commenting. We go on Facebook, and y'all talking about church girls going wild, because
That's
I'm
right.
gonna respond back. We not wild. We
Y'all,
mad.
listen.
We happily married.
And we real, and we're legally real married.
We happily married, looking to satisfy our husbands, and they
And
trying to get
satisfy
y'all some
us.
help.
That's right.
Trying to right.
All right.
ones
Okay, y'all. We got it. Oh, Minnie left. He just told me.
We got
Listen,
Yes.
I so enjoyed this on tonight.
Yes, it was good.
We're going to see, because I know the men's supposed to come back next week.
Right.
But me and the ladies, we're going to get together if we'll push them back another week to answer some more questions. But they are scheduled to come next week. So I talked to the ladies. It's a unanimous decision on how we're going to do it.
Right.
So it's just not my decision. But they are to come next week and do the man cave. And they're going to kick it up, have their own questions, do what they want to do. Now, they may be a little more... They just black or white, so they
just gonna be a little.
they black or white, so anything can come out their mouth. But anyway, thank you for joining us in the Marital Toolbox every Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Please submit your questions. We are still taking them because they will be aired. And men, get on next Tuesday.
Juanita said she coming up to get her husband from Ohio. Come on, Ohio, Juanita. It's one here.
Thank you. We love you guys. Thank you.
Get jiggy with it.
Get jiggy.
Get jiggy.
Hey, he ain't play my song. I don't hear my song, Stevie Wonder. I